Hi there. This is Susan Grabowski. I am the new food program coordinator for Windham Southeast Supervisory Union, and this is the 2021 Summer Food Program training. So I have 24 slides to get through, so please be patient. I'm going to try to get through these as quickly as possible. I will certainly be available for questions via email and phone calls if you have questions that come up. So I'm excited, so let's just jump right in. As you probably already know, the summer food program is really, it exists to combat hunger and provide essential nutrition for our children in the community. Eligibility, usually only areas where 50% of the students are eligible to receive free meals during the school year can serve any child for free during the summer. But because of COVID, USDA has issued waivers that allow us to serve any child for free in any town. So we have a lot going on this summer. We have a lot of different sites, which is very exciting, but it takes a lot of work to coordinate. So that we have open and closed sites. Meals are available to all children in the area on a first come, first served basis in open sites. And this past year, all of our schools in the Supervisory Union were open meal sites. For the summer, open meal sites include Dummerston Town Hall, Vernon Fire Department, Vernon Rec Center, and Putney Library, and a few others. We also have a van run serving housing insecure students, as well as Veggie Van Go at the high school, which will continue twice a month throughout the summer. We also have several closed sites. These meals are provided to a specific group of children. These are camps and other specific programs happening throughout the summer. Some of these include the New England Youth Theater, St. Michael's, Boys and Girls Club at the Retreat Farm, Family Garden, Neighborhood Schoolhouse, and about 5 other sites. The waivers from the USDA allow us to serve free meals to any child through the summer. And also, because it's a state or a federally funded program, we actually need to promote it. So we have put out a press release, and that was put into the Commons on June 8th. We'll have another one going out this week. Open school sites should also have let their communities know about these meals within the schools. Everybody who is a site supervisor has certain responsibilities, and that's why you're participating in this training. As a site supervisor, your job is to make sure that the rules of the program are being followed at your school or site, and make sure if other people are serving these meals, such as volunteers or other people that are working for you, that they have received basic training on the rules and regulations of this program. Some of the basic requirements are that we keep really good records. We actually need to have a daily meal count, and you will get a form with your meal delivery each day. It will be in a folder, and you really need to fill that out accurately. And meals need to be counted as the child gets their meal, not after the fact. One meal count will be filled out each time meals are served. So one meal count sheet for breakfast and one for lunch. Even though sometimes multiple meals may be handed out at one time, such as our grab and go sites. Please check off the number of children that receive the meal. If you are going to have a field trip, this is only sites that will have face-to-face programming for children. Otherwise, all the summer food service program food must be eaten on-site by children in schools unless a special request is submitted and approved. Field trip requests can be emailed to Susan Grabowski. My contact information is contained in this PowerPoint, and I need that at least 7 business days in advance. State approval is needed before meals are taken off-site unless it's a grab-and-go facility. Meal information. You must serve meals at the time specified for your site, especially if you are an open site. This is essential to make sure families know how to access food at open sites. For food safety reasons, the purpose of the site reviews by the sponsor and state. So we can't leave food out for a certain period of time. We have to keep it held in various holding containers like coolers, and we can't leave it out. So these are all the reasons why we have very specific times for meal distribution. If you have children on site, they must eat meals on the site with children. This is called congregate feeding in order to be eligible for reimbursement. We get reimbursed from the USDA for all the meals that we serve. Meals should not be taken off-site to be consumed unless prior permission is granted, such as a field trip or your grab-and-go site. This is to ensure food safety and the child is the one actually eating the meal. Receiving and serving meals. You will receive a cooler. Most of you will receive coolers with meals. And that cooler will also have a folder in it, and that will have a meal count form. Please make sure you fill out the form fully and completely, including crossing off or checking off each meal that is handed out. If you find that you're missing any components or you don't have enough items to make complete meals, please call the kitchen immediately. That contact information is also contained in this PowerPoint. The kitchen will bring you what you need if possible. As I said, we have a lot going on, and we're going to try to serve people as best as possible. But if you do have things missing, you need to let the kitchen know as soon as possible. If missing items are not able to be brought to you in time for meal service, indicate what was missing on the meal count form. And if you run out of meals but have more time to serve, you can also contact the kitchen and they will run over more meals if possible, and tell you the closest open meal site that is still serving meals. So if you have people and you are an open site, you can send them to another site, hopefully. Safe food handling is really important, and we still have some rules in place because of COVID. So as I already mentioned, food will be delivered in coolers. All meals will be individually bagged and contains all necessary meal components. As a server, anybody serving food must wash your hands before and after handling food. If you're in a situation in which washing hands is not possible, please use hand sanitizer. You will also want to wear gloves and a mask. Please set meals out so that families can easily grab them without meals getting handled directly to them and without touching anybody else's bags. This is still, COVID, and we're not completely free of that, and this just helps people feel a little bit more comfortable. Please keep food coolers out of direct sunlight. Not when possible, just do it. Keep cold food and milks in cooler refrigerator unless actively serving. Do not hold foods longer than 4 hours in the danger zone, meaning don't keep it out in hot sunlight. After 4 hours, food must be thrown out if it's not held in a cooler or kept in a holding area. When in doubt, throw it out. Remember, you can't determine food safety by sight, color, or smell. So just throw it out. If it's been out for 3 hours and 50 minutes, it's probably not any good to serve anymore. And we are not able to save and reserve leftovers, so please make sure you adjust the numbers for your meals so that we aren't throwing out a bunch of meals, because that's a waste. It's an awful waste. Open sites must have some type of sign indicating that meals are consumed by children 18 years of age or younger. We are not serving adults at the open sites. Managing leftover meals. USDA regulations allow donations such as pre-packaged foods, whole fruits and vegetables, and milk to 501c3 nonprofit organizations. leftover food cannot be taken back by the kitchen staff. Please either donate it to a 501c3 or dispose of it. Do not leave it in the coolers. For children remaining on the site for programming, they are allowed to take one fruit, vegetable, or non-perishable grain itself off-site to eat later. This item should be from their own meal. They cannot take all three. So if you're not a grab-and-go site, they have to eat most of the meal right then and there. But if maybe they have an apple and they didn't get to it, they can certainly take that with them. An item like a ham and cheese sandwich can't be taken off-site because it's not non-perishable. So it has to be non-perishable. Accommodating special dietary needs. Please notify the kitchen when you become aware of a child who has a food allergy or a special dietary need. The kitchen is able to accommodate nut allergy, gluten or dairy allergy or intolerance, and vegetarian diet relatively easily. Meal accommodations must be within the meal pattern requirements in order to be reimbursable. Non-dairy milk substitutes have to be nutritionally equivalent to milk, lactate, or soy milk unless the child has a disability and provides a medical statement. Information about children with specific disabilities that restricts their diet and medical statements is also on this slide. If you need more information, please get in touch with me and we can work on that together. Quick self-quiz. True or false? We can adjust the time we serve meals each day to accommodate our program needs. Everybody? I can't hear you. Yes, that is false. Washing your hands before food service and wearing disposable gloves are required. That is true. You should order enough meals so children can have seconds. That is false. No seconds. We can't get reimbursed for seconds. I should save and reserve leftovers on the following day. That is false. Absolutely false. We can't keep the leftovers. We should donate them or throw them away. So this slide just reviews the summer food service program meal pattern, the breakfast meal pattern, and the lunch meal pattern. And this is all regulated by the USDA. We try to do our best with making sure that kids are getting, good nutritious meals. But this is generally the meal pattern. If you have any questions about that, you can reach out to either Allie or me. And regarding questions, when should you contact Allie or Susan? And this slide pretty much tells you when you should contact each of us. So Allie is really working with the food directly. So she's the one who gets the food orders and reports. She gets the problems with food orders, damaged items or not enough. If you need more plates, cups, gloves, etc. If you have a special accommodation request for a dietary need, report daily meal counts. That goes to Allie in the folder in the cooler. Submit money received from adults and purchasing meals. I don't think we're going to have that in any site. We don't have any purchasing situations this summer that I am aware of. And need a new Justice for All non-discrimination poster. The non-discrimination poster will be attached to the email that this slideshow is attached to as well, and we're going to go over non-discrimination a little bit later in this slideshow. Definitely contact me if you have a field trip and need to get that approved, need to change meal times or dates being served, you have questions about accommodations for communication barriers, need to report a civil rights complaint, report recurring issues with food orders or kitchen in general, and questions regarding filling out any of the paperwork. Support and monitoring. Our goal is to have safe, nutritious, physically responsible program that meets the needs of area children. The sponsor, which is the Windham Southeast Supervisory Union, the role of the sponsor is to help support sites in serving meals to children by providing training, support, and troubleshooting. The sponsor's role also includes making sure that each site is in compliance with all policies and procedures of the program by conducting site reviews, train and oversee kitchen operations, consolidate all paperwork data and submit for reimbursement, communicate and work with State Department of Education nutrition programs who oversee the program. I talked about how I will have contacts for both of us in this slideshow, and here it is. So this slide you'll probably want to keep, maybe print out, and this will also, of course, be in the email. I did say I was going to talk about civil rights. I'm required to do so. There is a PowerPoint that is a 2-hour-long presentation, and that is the website address if you're interested in watching that. Or you can review the abbreviated version that is attached to the email as a PDF. And I'm just going to quickly do an overview of the things that you need to know about civil rights and non-discrimination. Ultimately, what the USDA really wants is equal access and no discrimination. Meals are to be served to all attending children regardless of race, color, national origin, sex, age, disability, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, or marital or civil union status. Hopefully we don't have children that are dealing with marital or civil union status, but meals must be equally accessible to all children. Make reasonable accommodations for disabilities. Reasonable accommodations need to be made for language assistance and food allergies. The sponsor must advertise open and closed sites to the public. As I talked about already, a press release has gone out and there will be another one. And we publicize these throughout the summer as far as open sites. Everybody is going to get a Justice for All poster. It looks a little bit like this, but there's a bunch of printing underneath the picture. If you happen to need another one, you can very easily print it off by going to this particular website. It is a federal requirement that this non-discrimination poster be prominently displayed wherever you serve your meals. Please check every day that it's still posted. This is essential for passing reviews by the sponsor and by the state. And the poster needs to go with you on any field trips. More on civil rights, requirements for reasonable accommodations. Physical accessibility. The site must be easily accessed by all. Meal modifications. Communicate with the kitchen regarding any food allergies, intolerances, preferences, or disabilities that require meal modifications. If needed, order some peanut or sun butter sandwiches daily to provide an alternate meal option for students who might have issues on that particular day in terms of needing different meals. We also need to provide language assistance. If you have a child at your site who has limited English language proficiency, we will need to provide materials in a language that they can more easily read, access the need for interpreter assistance and material translation. You can contact me for assistance on that. Children should not be used to translate program requirements to parents and guardians. I'm now going to talk about good customer service. We need to provide good customer service, even though we're not really, it's hard to kind of consider this as a consumer situation, but ultimately it is. So everybody should be courteous and thoughtful, patient, and it's really important to listen carefully. You really must treat all children equally. There should be no separation by protected basis in seating arrangements, serving lines, service and facilities, or eating periods. Allergy-free tables are acceptable, such as nut-free or peanut-free or whatever you need, as long as they are also not punishment tables. So you don't want to put those things together. Use conflict resolution techniques when issues arise. Remain calm. Ask about the situation. Repeat back what you hear the person saying to be sure that you understand. Try to help those involved work out their differences and get help from supervisors. And if you must, call the police if the situation escalates to threatening or possibly violent behavior. Hopefully that we don't have to deal with that situation at all. Non-discrimination statement on all printed materials. All program materials that are one page front and back, such as flyers, menus, and posters, are required to have a very short non-discrimination statement that says this institution is an equal opportunity provider. The font must be no smaller than the smallest font used on the rest of the document. If the document is more than one page, then you need to provide this much longer statement. You can just copy it right off of this slide, or if you need that in another format, I can provide that to you. We do have a complaint procedure, and it's open. It's important that we all be open to feedback. And if somebody does have a complaint, please capture the details, including date of incident, names, and contact information. Please call Susan and let her know about the complaint so she can notify the Vermont Agency of Education Child Nutrition Program. And also refer the person to the USDA website to log a complaint. And the information about that is on the Justice for All poster. So please point them to the Justice for All poster. Another self-quiz. This one's much shorter. True or false? It's no big deal if the Justice for All poster falls down and gets lost. That's false. And what statement needs to be on every piece of written material? We just went over this. It's the non-discrimination statement. We have two of them. One's very short and one's longer. And the longer one is for documents that you distribute that are longer than one page. Site reviews. Sponsor and state reviews. Monitoring is required as a part of the program. Reviews help support you in adhering to all program guidelines. And because this is a government-regulated program, site reviews are important. The sponsor representative, that's me, will review all sites within the first 4 weeks of the program. Reviews by sponsors are currently a desk review, meaning that I will schedule a time to talk on the phone, although I'm really hoping to get to as many sites as I can. So we will also probably, when we talk on the phone, set up a time that I can stop by, so I won't drop by unexpected. I will need to ask you questions and review documentation to help ensure all aspects of the program are being followed. And I will also ask for pictures of meal service showing meals being handed out properly, and required Justice poster must be visible. For this summer, I'm probably going to waive that part because I am hoping to get to every site. And if that doesn't happen, then I'll ask for those pictures. Procedure if any site is found deficient. If a site review reveals an area that needs improvement, I will create a plan of action with the site supervisor. Immediate corrective action may be able to take place. Like, you need a Justice for All poster. We can get that really quickly and put it up. Or we can make plans for corrective action, and then I will have to follow up within a few days to a week to confirm that corrections have been made, such as meals not served at a proper time, counting meals served at and miscounting meals served at time of service. Other resources all about the summer food service program, summer meal service program. You can dial 211. The Vermont 211 database contains detailed descriptions of programs and services available to Vermonters that are provided by local community group service, social service, and health-related agencies. The website is also here, or again, as I said, you can call 211. And I just want to also say thank you to everybody who is working within this program this summer. We absolutely could not be doing this without you, and I'm so excited to be making sure that so many of our children are going to continue to get nutritious and healthy meals throughout the summer. So thank you so much for your time.